Hello, friends. This is Cassandra Joan Butler along with you for Facebook Live on a Wednesday. You know, I'm 3 minutes early. I was just so eager to talk to you tonight and to share with you some full moon musings. So I hope you're getting this notice. I know it's a little bit of a change. Everything's changed, isn't it? I mean, once upon a time we would do this at 9 o'clock at night because I was at my office and I was seeing clients in the evening, but I kind of like it earlier. Good evening, Dawn. Nice to see you. So again, we're going to be doing our sharing. I'm sharing with you a transit report for every time you guys share. So it's a little contest that we have. I have my revised basket filled with your names. And so if you want to share as we're talking, your name will go into the basket for next week. It's a way for you to help me to share the astrological cosmic weather and for me to share with you. Hi, Missy and Pam and Nora. Thanks for being here, my dear friends. And there's some other people they want to say hi to. Hi, Marianne and Lincoln and Jennifer. Often I can't say hi to everybody, but when we start, I say hello, because I have a lot to share with you tonight. So I don't want to acknowledge each and every one of you afterwards, though. So how's it going? Is anyone healing anything yet? Is anyone feeling a little stressed out, a little frayed around the edges? I am a little frayed around the edges. So I wanted to share with you a poem, and this came to my attention. Some of you may be aware of it already. It came to my attention from one of my dearest, bestest friends. And she said, Cassandra, you have to hear about this poem. It was written in 1889 by this lady, and then she reprinted it for the Spanish flu in 1919, and it's made the way around the internet. And so I did a little research, and apparently the poem I'm about to read to you actually, in fact, was written by a woman about a month and a half ago. And it's by Kitty O'Mara. And it's so relevant for this week and this full moon, because this, my friends, is the one full moon of the entire year where we're doing a lot of healing. It's Holy Week. And Holy Week, you've heard me say this before, you've listened to me once before. Holy Week is always calculated, and happy Passover to my Jewish friends tonight. It's always calculated according to the first full moon after the spring equinox. That's why it's a movable holiday from year to year. So the essence of this full moon that comes in spring is one of the dynamic, intense, and sometimes even bloody image of Aries, opposing the peaceful reconciliation energy of Libra. So we only have one full moon a year, whereby the full moon is in Libra, and we're in the full moon phase right now. And this phase is in effect until Easter Sunday morning around 7:46. So in essence, every Holy Week, whether you're Christian or Jewish or agnostic or skeptical, every Holy Week has this full moon that pulls out and brings up our wounds. And so much more this year, because Chiron, the wounded healer, is also attached to the originating new moon, which happened on the 24th of March. So this is the week of illumination, of understanding how we can heal that which we need most healing. So let me just quote this poem by Kitty O'Mara. It's on my Facebook page so you can read it. The Crisis poem, written in March of 2020 by Kitty O'Mara. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still. And they listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed. I don't think Kitty, maybe she is, astrologically proficient, but this poem has been making the way across the internet. And today I discovered, again, it was not written in 1889, it was written just a month ago or so. And it's so relevant. It's still a beautiful poem, obviously. But she's talking about healing. And that is the trigger or the theme of today's phase with the full moon that took place last night at 10:35 at night. Now, you know how much I love my Sabian symbols, right? So the Sabian symbol of this full moon is robbers coming out of hiding. And in my interpretation, that could be on our soul level, we're feeling a little robbed. And it's coming out of hiding. Some of the resentments and the anger and the worry and the fear, like, I'm so tired of being locked up in here, right? Give me freedom. Especially Americans with our Sagittarius rising sign. You know, Sagittarius is the sign of unbridled freedom. You know, Sagittarius is the sign of the horse. So we want to be galloping around and doing all of our wonderful things that we normally do. But right now, of course, most of us are very much sheltering at home. So, my friends, how are you coping? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the sharing. Remember, we're going to be doing our little look-see here in a few moments. Every time you share this Wednesday webcast, your name goes into the basket. So the basket's going to be pretty full. And then I give away a free transit report. So let's talk a little bit more about this full moon. The full moon is as its apex, it's right next to Juno. Juno is the asteroid of cooperation in the sign of cooperation, which is Libra. So in some ways, you know, when I listen to the president's report and the governor's report, one of the themes that has been coming out into the public domain is that people, for the most part, are cooperating on behalf of each other. That even though individually nobody wants to be cooped up, nobody wants not to be able to go to work and suffer economic losses, but in some ways there's something that's being triggered within us, not just what they're telling us, but something that's very profound that's saying, I don't want to get my neighbor sick. I don't want to get my community sick. If there's even a slight chance of someone becoming ill because of my malfeasance, I'm not going to do it, right? So I think that is what the full moon is telling us, that we are doing this on behalf of each other. Juno is the partner in the partnership sign of Libra. The moon is in Libra. Libra is about us and we. It's not about me. That's the Aries sun. So we're coming into this tension between what is best for me and what's best for the other. And so our compassion, I hope, is becoming a lot more relevant and rising to the surface. So, okay, that's number one. Moon is conjunct Juno. Then there's that frustration feeling with this full moon because Mars is conjunct Saturn. You know, Saturn is the brakes, Mars is the gas. Darn, we want to go someplace really fast, but there are brakes in tow. How many out there have had great plans to, I don't know, clean out your kitchen cupboards or, you know, write a poem or write a book or, you know, play with the kids or develop new recipes, and then you fall short? There's frustration. Time, which is Saturn, is slowed down. So we're not able to really get into the sync of things because we're living alternative time right now. And it's a little frustrating. The full moon phase also has with it, I love this one. Venus, the goddess of love, is next to Vesta, which is the goddess of spiritual practices. That's one thing we have control over. If you pray, if you meditate, if you do your yoga, your Tai Chi, whatever your practice is, friends, do it, because the full moon phase is asking you to coordinate and establish a foundation of spiritual health by doing whatever practice you want to do. So that's a positive thing with this full moon. And then we have Mercury, the great messenger, sextile our friend Jupiter, Santa Claus. So there's a semblance with this full moon that the light is at the end of the tunnel. It's not there yet. The tunnel seems to be getting larger or indirect, or we're not getting any. How can they give us an exact date? How can this astrologer give you an exact date? I can give you certain times when I think this is going to shift up. For example, like this week, I've given that date before, April 7th. Another big date around the corner is going to be June 5th. Mark my words, June 5th is going to be a big shift for the better. Anyway, let's talk about this week. Nobody can tell us exactly when the limits are off, but we know that this full moon cycle, we're feeling the limits in a different way, and we're wanting to heal them in a different way, and we're trying to put other people before ourselves. That is the healing. Putting Libra before Aries right now. That's the way out of our dilemma. No matter how frustrated we may become individually, if we think about the other person or persons in our lives, we feel better and we'll be feeling more healed. Now look, if you want to have a lot more information on this whole healing crisis with the virus crisis, I think I have about maybe 3 more spots left on my online workshop. That's tomorrow night on Thursday. It's on Zoom. Details are all over the place. They're on Facebook, and you can always PM me with the details, but I do have some spots available. With those workshops, I give you a lecture, and then I identify where the healing is going on in your chart. And I also talk a lot about, tomorrow I'll be talking a lot about Chiron, the wounded healer, which was activated at the new moon on March 24th. So you see, even the poem says this is all about the healing. And shadows, as Kitty O'Mara wrote, come up. Our shadow side, our anger, our worry, our fear, our anxiety, our grief, kinds to bubble up into the surface to be looked at and hopefully neutralized and healed. Alrighty, coming up this week, if you are an Aries, it's all about the partner. It's all about putting your attention on the partner, letting go of self, letting go of ego, becoming a better partner, a better best friend, a better spouse, a better child, just a better person for the other. So the emphasis is on relationship for you, Aries. Taurus or Taurus rising, this emphasis for you this week is about transformation of your deepest soul, your deepest skill set to become more powerful. Whether that skill set is achieved through psychology or meditation or spirituality, you're really digging into your heels, Taurus, and becoming a lot more cognizant of ways to become a stronger person. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, this full moon is triggering your thoughts, your philosophies, your spiritual beliefs, your religion, and shaking them up a little bit so you're able to communicate your truth to others more effectively. If you're Cancer or Cancer rising, this particular energy is triggering your career. You may be having daydreams of what you want to do when the clouds clear, when the virus crisis has been resolved, what you want to do differently in the outer world, perhaps to help others in some avenue. That's for our Cancer friends. Leo or Leo rising, it's about networking, it's about spending time with your friends, it's about making new friendships, about consolidating old friendships and exploring new ways of being social in the world. You Virgo friends, retreat. This full moon energy is asking you to be calm, go into your cocoon, retreat a little bit, take care of your psyche and your spirituality, meditate a little bit more, just nap. If you're a Libra or Libra rising, this full moon is on top of your charismatic identity. You're shaking things up, you're becoming a new person, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to be out there, world. So it's really igniting the Libra parts of our chart. And if you're a Libra or Libra rising, it's how you are coming across to other people. Scorpio, you're looking at your self-worth and your value this week. You're also looking at ways to manage your finances, new ways of making money, right? So you're looking at your skill set and trying to develop that. If you're Sagittarius or Sagittarius rising, the emphasis is on your words, your communication, your marketing, the way that you are sharing with other people, the way you're exchanging your ideas. So it's a very exciting time for truth for our Sagittarius friends. Capricorn, this particular full moon is shining in your house of home and family. So you're really looking around where you're sheltering and saying, man, I got to make some changes here. I've got to, as soon as this is over, I'm getting new carpeting, or as soon as this is over, I'm going to get an even new bedspread, whatever it is. You want to shake up the environment where you live, and you're wanting to forgive and become closer with your family members. If you're Aquarius or Aquarius rising, boy, are you ever restless. You want to play a little bit. So, get out those coloring books, get out those knitting needles, get out those cards, and board games, Aquarius, and have some fun. Try to find fun in the midst of this crisis. It's in your 5th house of fun and creativity. Last but not least is our lovely Pisces friends. And this full moon is illuminating a new job for you. It's illuminating your work, the way you're doing your work, and your self-care. I know many of us, none of us actually can go to the Y or our gyms. Oh, well, but maybe we can do some at-home exercise. So for Pisces, that's the theme for you with this full moon. Alrighty. I can't see all your names, so I hope you're still there with me, because I'm going to do my drawing right now. And what I'll do when I pick your name, I will PM you and get all your birth information, and then send out a transit report to thank you for being a viewer of these Wednesday night webcasts. Alrighty. All right. Close your eyes, everybody. And the winner is Carrie, SCHAD. Carrie, Kari, Shad, or is it Schnad? Carrie, are you in the room? Anyway, you must be on Facebook. You must be my friend, because I will hold this and I will contact you, Carrie. Speaking of friends, I think I'm at my limit of friends. So when you share this, let your friends know that they can, join this page, this professional page, and hopefully share these webcasts. And just a reminder to you, friends, I'm very, very excited with the response I've been getting from my morning, I almost said early morning, it's not early, mid-morning meditations throughout the crisis, maybe beyond. 11 a.m., join me in this venue on this page for a guided meditation that's linked to the moon's phases. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing a Scorpio moon meditation. Whoa! Beginning at 11 in the morning. And I always post those on the YouTube channel. I thank you, friends, for being here. And God willing, we'll see each other on Wednesday next. Have a holy week. No matter what or who or how you celebrate this week, use it for your personal healing, please. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of that this weekend. And I love Easter. What can I say? So it's a very sacred time for me. And enjoy your family and enjoy the process of healing. We don't have opportunities to shelter in place very often, do we? Look at the bright side, right? We can get rid of a lot of the shadows inside of ourselves. God bless, and continue to keep the faith.